Yes, and we're back to Skye. How are you? How have you been since last week?
I'm good. I'm great. How are you?
I'm great, thank you. Doing amazing. It was a lovely chat earlier we had before the podcast started. Amazing.
Deep
We should repeat
chat,
that
a very
definitely.
deep chat. I love it.
100%.
Yeah.
So, let's hear this week's topic from you today.
Yeah, so we are going to talk about how and when to reach out to labels and managers. I feel like this is a topic that really does get skimmed quite a lot, or a lot of artists and writers are not really sure when the right approach is, or they approach too early and then they don't get the right response that they were expecting. So yeah, it'd be good just to go into a bit more detail about it, just at least the basics, so everyone is just prepared to jump into it straight away.
Definitely. So I would give you the leads. So when do you think, what do you think about let's talk about the management and the artist development companies first, and then we will go into, when and how and stuff like that. So what is your perspective on artist development companies and management companies? What is your perspective on those two companies?
I feel, in my opinion, I would say is the most important aspect of an artist's career and a writer's career. Because without development and management as well, but I would say in general, just the right team, that's how you will achieve what you need to achieve. Because I mean, you can have the best, record deal possible with the biggest major, but if you're not getting the right hands-on approach and you're not being listened to, then it can be very difficult to get what you're expecting in your music career.
Definitely. I mean, I agree with that. I actually agree with that. A lot of artists, though, however, they have this different perspective when it comes to management and when it comes to artist development companies. They think, especially these millennials, the upcoming brand new, the producers, they're like, okay, cool. I just got Logic Pro or FL Studio. I've made one track, so it's time to look for management. I'm like, no. Believe me, no. Yes and no. So no is no, you don't need no management right now, but yes, you need an artist development company who is going to show you where you are and how to get you where you want to be. That's how I would approach it. But I mean, a lot of people right now these days, because they have the comfort of having a mobile phone, therefore having the whole internet in the grasp of their hands, they think they know it all. So they are kind of blocking themselves from learning more, if that makes sense.
Yeah, definitely.
What would you say about that?
100% agree. And I think we mentioned this in our previous video as well, just how it's very easy for everything to be misjudged on what you actually do need to do. So of course, using the internet, you can Google whatever you want, but the answer is not going to be accurate towards your specific needs. And with managers as well, I mean, I receive a lot of DMs and emails where they are looking for management, which is great. I'm excited for their enthusiasm, but they're no way ready. Most of them no way ready. And when they ask me how do I know when I am ready for management, I always give them a very simple answer, which is when there's something to manage. And I would explain that in the way that it's when you're bubbling, when there is people that are interested in you, when they want to sign you, when you have songs that have a lot of interest on being pitched and cut. That's what you need to have managed. It's not a babysitter. It's not looking after you and expecting things to happen when you don't have the material or you don't have the right skill set at that moment. So yeah, it's always very simple when there's something to manage. So when you are at that stage where things are happening, when things are just naturally occurring.
So would you say, without having any of these compartments as an artist, such as the management company, or like a manager right now, and you have managed to create a buzz around yourself, which is what I always thought and how I seen things progress over the years. Would you say that's the right way of doing things, where you create your own buzz and then you let the companies approach you rather than you approaching them for guidance? Or what would you say about that?
I think it's a mix of both, really. I think
True.
if you're able to, it's clear that you are putting in the work. So the songs that you are putting out,
Mm-hmm.
they are getting the right attention and the right reaction. I think, first of all, that's how you kind of know that it is maybe about time to start reaching out about management, or perhaps even in publishers, to get your songs pitched and see what can happen with them. But it's very difficult to say because it depends on the artist usually, I find anyway. So if they are at a certain stage where they do need that kind of guidance to get to where their stuff is bubbling,
Mm-hmm.
then I think it's looking for the right mentor and the right artist development company as well.
Yeah,
But a manager won't really necessarily make the magic happen for you. It's down to you putting in the work, but you just need the guidance.
that's true. That is true.
Yeah.
That's actually a great way of explaining that. Definitely. So, what would you say about when artists should start approaching management or artist development companies? Roughly around when do you say will be the right time for them to do that?
I guess it just comes back down to, for management, when things are starting to happen a bit more naturally for you, so you're getting the right attention from your social media. I don't want to say a certain amount of streams, because that doesn't really mean
Yeah,
squat, in my opinion. That really doesn't.
that's true.
Yeah. And so when you are getting the right attention from social media, and specifically not friends and family, specifically that, so it's when random people, fans, potential people that will buy your music, they are giving you great feedback on your work. That's
Definitely.
maybe a time where you can say, okay, let me see if I do need management and see where this can go. And the same thing is with labels as well. So if you feel like you're at a stage where your music needs to be in the hands of someone else and not just on your hard drive,
Mhm.
then that's probably a time where you can start reaching out and sending out email submissions and see where that goes.
Would,
But
yeah, sorry.
yeah, go ahead.
Now, would you say you would you should definitely have a nice catalog of tracks built up, all properly mixed, mastered, composed, and polished, and then they are ready to be sent out. A nice catalog where I'd say maybe 20, 30, maybe 40 tracks, so you can actually start sending these bunch of music to the companies, the management companies or artist development companies, to see what they got to say? Or would you say if you have 5 tracks, that will still do the trick, that will still give them a good understanding of where you currently are?
Do you know what? This answer will probably surprise a lot of people, but it doesn't matter. As long as you can listen to it and you can get an idea of where you're going with it, then that's all a publisher or a label needs.
Mm-hmm.
Because I mean, I know artists that have been signed based off one song, and it wasn't even professionally mixed and mastered. It was just a demo that was recorded, just I think it was on their phone. Um, Things like that can happen. It's rare, but if the song is at a quality, and when I say quality, I mean the songwriting quality, not the recording quality. If that is at a standard where it's really strong and it can be taken to a level where someone thinks, right, we do need to get a recorded version of this, then that can of course get amazing attraction for you.
Definitely.
And on the flip side as well, it is amazing to have a catalogue of 40 or 100 or even 1,000. Not that they're going to listen to every single one of those, but I would always say it's always best to have a folder of, I'd say, 20 of your strongest. And then when it comes to actually pitching out your music to different labels, just create a playlist like SoundCloud or Dropbox that's like 3 songs, 3 of your strongest songs, and that will be enough to give them a good idea of what level you're at and what they can do to work with you, really.
It's a great answer. That's definitely a great answer. So that's all that is great. So what would you say the next? So let's just say an artist started producing, a certain genre. Doesn't matter what it is. It could be drum and bass, jazz, blues, jungle, whatever, or garage, whatever you want to say. So they're doing fine. They started getting some attraction, right? So hear me out. They're getting attraction, but not to the point where that's going to give them the buzz they need to be able to attract the mainstream media, such as the actual record companies who are looking for the new talents and whatnot. So they're stuck at this point, and they're not really being able to manage to cross the line to go to the next level. What would your advice be to that?
In your scenario, how long have they been at this point? Because that
a good few years.
A few years.
Good few years. Yeah, let's just say several years.
Right. Okay. In that case, I would say there's something that's not working. Simple as.
That's what's not working.
But that what the artist is doing, there's something about that project that's just not working. Mm-hmm. It could be the song isn't just strong enough. It could be the sound isn't working. Maybe the audience can tell that the sound isn't fitting for the artist, that they're both just clashing. Mm-hmm. It could be many different things. And it's the same with songwriting as well. Say you've been writing a demo for the last few days, weeks, maybe even months, the same demo, and you just keep hitting your head against the wall, and that's the only demo that you've been working on. That's time to step away and perhaps start a new song, get new ideas, create some new inspiration, and then maybe come back to it and then see what you can do differently. And it's the same with your artist projects. If something is just, if you feel like you're just going around in circles, then there's a reason for that. And especially that if you feel that you've hit a wall where you don't even know where to go musically, a big thing I would say would be take a break from music. Give yourself a holiday, have a weekend away in a cabin in the middle of the woods, just like, yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's just doing something that makes you fall in love with your passion again, because that's why we're all doing this. That's why even me and you are doing this, because we're passionate and we're excited about what we do, like, helping artists. So it's when you do feel like something's not working for you, everyone needs a break. It doesn't matter whether it's the music industry, whether you're a lawyer or whatever, everyone needs a time out, don't they? Definitely.
And that's one thing a lot of people are sleeping out on. They're sleeping out on it because they think, oh, if I give a break, my competition is going to pass me. I'm not going to be able to catch up with them. No, that is wrong. What I always say is this: when you start paying attention to your competition, that's when you start losing anyway. Focus on you. Focus on what's in front of you. If you got a plate of, rice and beans or whatever you want to call it, eat that, but don't worry about what the next dude is eating on the next table, because that's his plate. You focus on what you got in front of you, finish that, and then you get on to the next level, the next plate, or whatever you want to call it. But this is where a lot of people are making a huge mistake, because they're keeping an eye on, okay, cool. You can keep an eye on your competitor, to your competition, to see what they're doing. Maybe get influence, maybe get an idea from them. That's fine. But don't try to compete with them. Yeah. Because that is going to cause you a huge amount of damage in the future. Yes. It's been exposed, it's been proven scientifically by experienced people, by people in different fields, different industries, and yet people are still not giving a single F about it, or they're not really caring about it, and still doing the same shizzle all the time. Yeah, exactly. And you know what, if an artist says to me that, oh, I'm working on my sound or my project, but this artist is doing this, my response is, I don't care. Why do you care?
that's a different artist. And
Exactly.
it's the exact same situation you said. Like, they are their own person. That is their own food on their plate. Like,
Yes.
why is that affecting what you do? That's silly. It's stupid.
You
In
know
my
what I
opinion.
mean?
Exactly.
It's-
It's crazy.
I
Absolutely crazy.
I thought you was working on your sound.
Yeah.
Why do you care about X person's sound or what they doing? That's their sound. You got your sound. You know what I mean?
Exactly. It's like, oh, you're drinking from this water. Well, I'm gonna have to drink from that water too because you are. And like, come on, it's stupid. I know that we are being a bit, dramatic about it, but it's true.
It is the truth. It is the
Yeah.
truth. It is an unfortunate truth, but it is the truth. And
Yeah.
hence why we are having this podcast, so we can actually give out some more information for people to understand where they are going wrong and what they can do to fix it. So first thing you need to do is to focus on what you got in front of you.
Yeah.
Give it your 110% or your 100%. And if you do feel like you need a little break, give that break. Your body, your brain, your mind, your system, your entire self needs it. Take a couple of steps back, like you said, give you a little break, go on a holiday, do something different to give yourself that break where you're going to be able to approach the matter from a different perspective, different angle when you come back to it, because now you're refreshing up. You have a different set of, you got the same set of brains, but you have a fresh new set of brain. You know what I mean? You can just do things differently this time, I would say.
Exactly. And I completely understand that coming out of lockdown as well, a lot of writers do feel like they've just hit a wall or they don't know what to do with their music because they haven't been collaborating, they haven't been getting in rooms where they can feel the vibes of that situation. I completely understand that. But my big thing that I always say to them is just you need to fall in love with music again. Listen to the songs that you grew up listening to. What did your parents used to listen to? What your sister used to listen to? Just stuff that really makes your heart just beat, just so you can fall in love with writing and your project all over again. And even do something like we said, like completely irrelevant to music. Just go away. Go for a walk in the park. Put your, I don't know, like podcast or listen to us on YouTube while you're taking a walk. Just things that are different and inspiring as well. You need to inspire yourself constantly.
But that's one thing I do not agree with.
Go on.
Which is when people, not with you, with the artists, which is when artists say, "Oh, I hit a writer's block. I've been locked up in my house. I haven't been able to collaborate." That to me is a massive BS dash excuse, because you were locked up in a house, but your internet wasn't taken away from you. You had everything under your disposal. You still could have left the house, gone out for a walk. Maybe if you have a dog or something, walk it. You could have gone to your friend's house, another writer, another producer, you could have collaborated there. Or, as I said earlier, you had your internet, you could have collaborated like we're doing right now over the internet. I'm in Cyprus, you're in England. What we are doing, collaborating. We are collaborating on a project together. This was all under your disposal, yet majority of the people, they chose the easy way out, saying, "Oh, I'm in a lockdown, I can't do anything right now." Bullshit. Complete bullshit. To me, I'm not saying this is a fact, this is true. No, this is just my perspective, because I believe in my experience over the years in a lot of different fields, but mainly in the music industry. I'm not saying I've made it to the top and top. No, I haven't, but I'm still growing. I'm still making big steps, taking big steps myself. So I'm still learning myself. But what I've learned over the years is that if you really want to do something, you will start finding reasons instead of finding excuses of not doing it.
That's true.
That's it.
No,
That's
I do agree with what you said, because I mean, it's been very 50-50 with responses. Like if I'm reaching out to previous artists or songwriters and saying, how's lockdown been treating you? How have you been? It's been very 50-50. So some of them have said that they've been very inspired and they've written so much, and others are saying that they just don't know what to do with themselves. So it's quite a crazy response. But I understand both perspectives, because I mean, I'm a creative person as well. So through my lockdown, it was very up and down. There were some highs and there were some lows. So I guess like with everyone really, isn't it? But it's kind of just how you deal with it, coming out of it, moving forward.
100%. And maybe what I'm going to say is going to piss some people off.
Yeah.
But I'm not saying this in a malicious way. Don't get me wrong, but I kind of enjoyed the lockdown. The reason being why I'm gonna come to that. The reason being why is because first, less distractions.
Yeah.
Second, enough time to focus on what I really want to focus on. Right. So obviously less distractions causes more time to focus. And third, fucking produce. Just bang, bang, bang. You know what I mean? And I if anything, I have managed to gather so much buzz around my music during this lockdown than anything else.
Yeah.
People whom I never heard of my life reaching out to me. Hey, I've heard you tune on the radio. Send me a copy. Cool. Here is a copy. Play it. You know, I've given out so much free music it's impossible, incredible. But that's me. I'm not saying everyone should be like me, because I understand everyone has a different way of living and different personality and so on and so forth. So I kind of feel like it was a massive opportunity, this 2-3 lockdowns that we've had. I don't know if they will ever come back. We don't know yet. But if they will come back, even if it's just for one more time, I'm fine with that.
Yeah. No, I do agree. I do agree, because it did slow down life, didn't it? It just made you not just like concentrate on what you want as a career, but what you want as a person as well.
Yeah.
So you are truly just saying to yourself, I'm miserable doing this or that. Or perhaps your partner just, you feel suddenly that they're not the one for you anymore. It's like all these kind of realizations that will happen, that have happened.
Yeah.
It's crazy, but everyone has had a completely different, unique experience through lockdown. Yeah.
I mean, I'm going to connect this to our topic of the night. Is so basically you've had all this time in your hands as an artist, a writer, producer, whatever you want to call, whatever you are. And now if you're complaining that you've not been able to manage to do anything, then that's your problem, right? But then if you've been able to use this for your benefit, then good for you, right? I'm not being harsh. Maybe I am coming across harsh. I'm sorry, but I'm just being pure, honest and transparent.
It's all about honesty.
Take it as you wish. But this is what I'm trying to say to you. This was a God's gift to humanity, to reset, to restart from, because look, started from the first lockdown, the top and the bottom, they were all at the same level.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying obviously crowd-wise, because Ed Sheeran had this much crowd and an X person had this much crowd, but the reason why they were at the same level, because they were both in the house. They couldn't go out, they couldn't gig, they couldn't do shit. So now Ed Sheeran is sitting and writing, and so are you. Or did you? Or if you have, what have you done? How many times did you try? Did you actually give it 100%? Because now you didn't have to go to work. You had your furlough. You was, getting looked after by the government. You was all cushy. It was all good. What did you do? Did you start writing down what you had to do and then start acting on it, and then attracting management companies or the management that you've been seeking, messaging people? Oh, I'm an artist. I'm looking for a manager. Fuck you. It's not going to happen like that, bro. You need to, I'm sorry, but you need to provide something tangible for the management to see. Listen, bro, miss, whatever you want to call, here are some tracks that I've made throughout this lockdown bullshit. I've been stuck in my house, but I've been productive. I've used it on my benefit. I've done my best. Here you go. Take a listen. Do you think I am worthy of being managed by you guys?
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. Completely agree. Because I mean, like, you've had all this time to kind of invest in yourself. So coming out of it, it should be, I don't want to say smooth sailing, because nothing is. I mean, there's always going to be bumps in the road, but
Always.
it can be much, much easier if you just let it be, and if you put in the work and you understand what it is you actually want. And if you haven't used that time to kind of understand what it is you really want and make at least small steps towards that, then of course no one's going to help you. Why would anyone help you if you can't even help yourself? Like, that's how it works. Management isn't, like I said, it's not babysitting, it's managing, it's working as a team.
Yes. Which is what we're doing with our current artists, just we can do stuff, but if you're not doing, then we can't do. If you're not doing your part, we can't do our part. I'm sorry. Exactly,
and it kind of just says it all, because I mean, our artists in a different country, all three of us are in different countries. We met, like me and you haven't even met face to face, and we've still done so much.
Imagine that.
It just shows. I mean, the power of the internet, but it's crazy.
Zoom made so much money over the period of lockdown. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
Alongside Amazon and Zoom as well.
Yeah. I think those were the top two through lockdown, weren't they?
I think 2 or 3, something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, Australia right now having to go through their 3rd lockdown.
Oh, are they? Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
While we were on summer holidays, they were in winter lockdown.
Yeah. I think they're not going to come out of lockdown. I mean, they're very, very strict over there. So
I don't know, but that's Aussies, man. Aussies are different breeds. But yeah, anything else you would like to add to our topic, tonight's topic?
There's one final thing that I would want to put out there is, it kind of summarizes everything that we've discussed, is you as an artist, you as a writer, a DJ, whatever you want to become, you have to be confident in yourself. Like we said before, if you're not confident in yourself, then it's very difficult for someone that doesn't even know you yet to be confident in you.
100%.
So you need to trust yourself, put in the work, put in the hours. That doesn't mean staying up all night. That means looking after yourself with a work-life balance, and everything will manifest and come your way.
100%. I agree with that.
I think that's a good way to end, right?
That is an amazing end, definitely. Definitely. I'll agree with you, everything that you said. And I believe if you just have a little bit of faith in you, I would say stop doubting yourself and start acting upon your dreams, upon whatever you have in your head, that's what you want to be. Start acting on it instead of just saying, I'll do it. No, just do it. And then watch how everything unfolds.
Exactly. And if it doesn't work right away, that's okay. It just means
does.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It just means you're still working.
Yeah.
You will get there. It just be patient. That's it. Be patient.
Yeah. There is a cliche saying I've read on a few different blogs and posts and whatnot, but it says the overnight success you see is the accumulation of 10 years of hard work.
Oof, yeah, that hit hard. Yeah.
Because you work, and then no one sees that. But the only time they see you is like when you become the successful, like, hey, I'm here. Oh shit, you did it overnight? Nah, mate. It took me X amount of time, but I did it, And that's the 10 years people don't see, or 15, 20 years, or 5 years. They don't see that. They only see the final result. Just like the phones that we're using. Do you go to China to check out how the iPhone is being manufactured? No, you only see at the back of the phone says, designed by California, made in China, done. And you start using the phone. Do you go and see what these people are going through when they're manufacturing it? Some of them are fucking commit suicide. Seriously. They are, because of the pressure, because of the work hours, but they are still doing it. And then you out here complaining about, oh, I've been through a lockdown and, I've not been productive. And shut your bin. Seriously, that's it. Listen, I am not looking down on anybody here. I'm not in a place to do so. But what I'm saying is stop pitying yourself and just start doing shit for yourself. This is your life. If you want to become a musician, do it. Put in the hours, write the songs, produce the songs, send them out, learn. You got the internet under your hands. Do it. It's all you have.
Exactly. And everything that you've just said, it just summarizes that we are all capable of achieving anything.
Yeah.
It's just believing yourself, put in the work, and love the journey. 100%. You need to fall in love with the journey. Otherwise, what even working towards?
100%.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much for joining, Skye. And thanks for everyone that's watching. Please give a like to the video, subscribe to the channel, and until next time, see you later.
Bye.